Nature is responding. Can't you hear the chaos in her voice? Great risings. Great risings. Mm. Can't y'all hear the? Mm-hmm. 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 I am convinced that it may be actually this tablet, y'all. Every time I use this tablet, that's what's happening. This is my husband's tablet. This is not mine. So I kind of just want to show y'all, like, if y'all could see the sky. So yesterday, rising when I seen a bunch of lines in the sky, right? Just a bunch of lines in the sky, a bunch of lines in the sky. They were seeding the sky with chemtrails, like heavy, heavy, heavy yesterday. And then toward the middle of the day, it started to look like this, and then it stayed like that. And now, when you wake up today, this is the aftermath of them seeding of the sky, right? Um, hey, Birdie. Birds love me. Hey, Birdie. It's raining. It's raining there. Yeah, I'm over all of this shit. I really am. I'm over it. I really am. I'm over it. Um, I'm over it. It's the reason why they keep trying to block the sun out. What is that about? Why are they blocking out the sun? Yeah, and it went back to being a bit cold too here. It was nice and sunny yesterday. And they started fucking with the sky. And what is your reasoning? What is your reasoning for messing with the sky? Why do you keep? Yeah, Lorene, I understand that, but I want. Yeah, I'm tired of this bullshit, baby. Make me feel alright. Who the fuck is cutting grass at this time? Who the fuck is cutting grass? Yeah, Monica, and I understand that ultraviolet rays kills any virus and bad bacteria. And I said that on my live the other day that um, I said that on my live the other day that yeah I said that on my live the other day that the sun's UV rays can differentiate between good and bad bacteria. So yes, it's it be snowing and this weather is weird. It is weird. Yep, got cold around nowhere too around here, Kevin. Yeah, you heard military planes flying over. Well, I told y'all if y'all go back and look at my live, I think maybe a week before all this real hardcore panic, and or maybe 2 weeks or a week and a half or a week, one of those, right? Um, I told you I've been hearing Hawk helicopters. I seen a few Black Hawk helicopters flying low, and I said it while I was on my live. And y'all remember when I was out here doing that ritual, and I had that UFO moment? Yeah, Miss Leo, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Bo says the virus can't survive over 53 degrees Celsius or 133. You know what's crazy? I told my friend who's a native here. She was born and raised here, melanated sister. I told her, I said, your state about to act an ass in 2020. I told her this last year, and she was like, what? I said, watch, we gonna have 130-degree weather in the summer for 2020. That's what I said to her. This shit is being fed by fear. We got to keep our vibrations and frequencies high. There is some things that are being fed by fear, and then there's just some things they've been doing for a long time. You know, we already know that they've been spraying the sky for a very long time. I remember the days when there wasn't no chemtrails, and I remember the times where I felt like where I was living at, they started spraying a lot. You know, and I used to be wondering who's playing tic-tac-toe in the sky. You feel like martial law is coming? Yeah. Been noticing the changes in helicopters for months. Yep. Medical martial law. Yeah. I heard Donald Trump slip up. Well, I don't know if it was a slip up or if he did it for real, on purpose. But yesterday, I heard him say something about military, and it really went over everybody's head during their live coverage yesterday. I heard it. Yeah. They said that they said out here and they said out here in Arizona that school may be closed for the rest of the year. They are prepared to keep the schools closed for the rest of the year. And the crazy thing about it, I literally was getting ready to talk to my husband about going back to homeschooling my middle girl because my baby is getting to that Head Start age. Let me ask y'all a question, and I'm really not, y'all know I'm really not a fearmonger, and I'm not trying to spread no fear, but these are just questions. Do y'all remember years ago when they had pictures and videos of trains bringing in those coffin liners? People were saying that they were plastic coffins, right? Remember that? This is when Obama was in office. Do y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? That's actually was grave liners, right? They said these grave liners that went deep to keep the coffins from rotting, right? To protect the bodies in the coffins, whatever. FEMA. Well, I was reading to Behold a Pale Horse last night. After I got off the live, I went further in to read. I came across some really good information. Should I share with y'all or not? You've been seeing strange things in the sky lately, Luis. You know what, Luis? You're right. You're definitely right. Y'all remember when I told y'all some time ago, when if you go look, it was at nighttime, and I said I think it's called stargazing. I think the title of the video that I made has something to do with stargazing, right? And remember, I was saying to y'all, I said there was a star in the sky that was there, but wasn't as bright as that was. Y'all remember? And I remember looking up the name for y'all. I remember telling y'all what it meant, the heralder, right? And it was heralding the coming of Sirius. Sirius, the star Sirius. Remember that? Do y'all go back, if y'all have not looked at my live, go back and watch that live. Go back and watch that live. And I said, something is coming. Something is getting ready to happen. I don't know what. I remember saying, like, I can't put my finger on it, but some shit about to pop off. Stargazing. It's crazy. Sirius is here, Monica. Yes. Yes, Melissa. Those of y'all who have family members that are in the military, ask them, have they been given orders to stand by? Ask them, have they been given orders to stand by? There was another thing that Trump said that gave me pause, when he says, we're working closely with FEMA. Now, if you are from where I'm from, which is the South, which is highly susceptible to hurricanes, right? And tornadoes and stuff like that, we already know that FEMA ain't about that real life. We always wondered why FEMA's response could never really handle true disaster. We know that FEMA, we know that FEMA cannot handle response well, right? We know that FEMA just cannot handle response well. You've been pulling up Ra a lot? Yes, Rico. Jesus. Lorene says, the ones born just for this moment ain't scared. I was born for this shit. And you know what? I was told, as I'm telling you, I told y'all in my other live, that prophets used to tell my mother all the time that I was an end-time prophetess. Yeah. Jordan says she says her ex-husband is on standby. Okay. Yes, orders no travel for 90 days. Brother was supposed to be deployed, but they told him that they weren't going to. Yep. Okay. He's a Marine. Yeah, they trying to hold people here. But don't sleep on this shit. They got backup. One thing they do know, that it's going to be very hard for American soldiers to detain and, if need be, kill their own people off. Which is the reason why it would be so much easier for a military militia group to come in from another country. You don't care for, it's not your people, right? Not your people. Have y'all heard about the April 26th meteor or asteroid that's supposed to, like, almost hit us, quote unquote? That's what they say. You know how people do this shit. Yeah, they don't stand by in Georgia. Yep. National Guard is on standby in Georgia. In one of the Resident Evil's movies, y'all noticed that COVID-19 was the name of a safe place in the movie. Wow. Which one was that one? Which Resident Evil was that one? Yeah, these things must come to pass, Monica. You definitely right. It's gonna happen. Listen, y'all. It ain't got cold as fuck. Look how. Okay, look. Look how dark. Look how dark. Just by me sitting over here, dark. These people are really fucking with the air. Like, what are you getting out of this, my nigga? Like, what? What? Oh my god. Rico, I showed y'all that the coronavirus, the coronavirus is on the Lysol can. They got one called human coronavirus and the other one is SARS coronavirus. I showed it to y'all. They have already bombed Iran and killed someone. Yes, Lorene. Yes, Sabrina. I remember, girl. They used to always say meteors and asteroids was gonna hit us since I was a kid too. I'm sure they are waiting after today for these damn elections. Well, when the United States or when the world is in such a state of panic, I don't think elections is going to matter. Hint, 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 hint. It's dark in Toronto, y'all. They might be, and you know what? They might be seeding the sky with clouds to cover up what the fuck is passing over us. I'm just being honest, you know. Remember, I told y'all when I was pulling cards that we see the unveiling of extraterrestrial activity in 2020. It can then well be, um, an unveiling. Shit. All this other shit is popping off. Somebody out here in this fucking world is playing Jumanji. I can tell you that much. Why then do we need FEMA for? Okay, Luis, thank you for bringing me back to that. Let me share. Do y'all mind if I share? Can I share with y'all what I read last night? It's some really good information. Can I share with y'all? Do y'all mind? Let me know. Let me know. Put a yes. Okay. So let me go get the book right quick. I'll be back. Okay. I'm gonna leave this right here. And look, if it freezes, I'm gonna come back. Okay. Don't trip. Let me go get the book. Let me get. Okay. I am back, y'all. So let's talk about this book. For those of y'all who don't have this book, I noticed that Barnes and Noble always keeps one on deck. I noticed that Barnes and Noble always keeps one on deck. So if y'all still are able to move around in your city and state, go to Barnes and Noble, baby. Okay, so Bo just got, yep, Bo just got it from Barnes and Noble. Maybe even 3 reasons for blocking the sun. Yeah, Carmela. But you're on lockdown, right? So you have to get it online. Yeah. It was Resident Evil Extinction. Damn. Okay. So let me turn to the page first, and then I will. Um, Let me make sure. Okay. Let's see, where am I going to start? You know what? Um, I gotta be real. So let me start right here on page 111. Those of you who got the book, 111. Ain't that something? Y'all see what this says right here? This is William Cooper said that the United States has been in martial law ever since Lincoln's administration. And then he goes on to say why he said that, right? That's a good read. That part is a good read. Um Benita, yeah, Benita, they really say suicide? Because he got shot and killed on his front porch by the cops. The cops killed him. The cops killed okay, here we go. Let's see. All right, let's see. Okay, here we go. Y'all already know what time it is. Let's get into it. Okay, here we go, right? While the national security, this is the excerpt from the book, right? Behold the pale horse. If anybody wants to look, you see this? This is the name of the book. This is the person who wrote the book. Okay. Now I'm gonna start from right here. This little pink dot. While the National Security Defense Directive pretends to be concerned about international terrorism, it is really a thinly disguised authorization of preemptive strikes and retaliatory raids against patriots in this country. When FEMA is activated, patriots will be rounded up in the dead of night, most likely on a national holiday such as Thanksgiving. Can somebody can somebody can somebody tell me, well, you talking about Easter more likely, but guess what? To commemorate da 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 da. July sounds more like a better option. Remember, these people nevertheless are patriotic. Didn't one of the Purge movies was on 4th of July or some shit like Independence Day or something? Y'all still with me? Okay. So watch this. Government agents and law enforcement officers in every city across the nation have received anti-terrorist training under this NSDD directive, which is the National Security Defense, right, directive. And I can assure you the target is patriots. Consequences: set up the terrorist incident working group under the North in the NSC. Its first major action was the interception and capture of a Chile Laurel hijackers, which gave North Korea, not Korea, career. Y'all see that word career? An important boost. Okay, so let me go down. Oh yeah, this is where the crisis actors part comes in. Okay. This is the one that gives me pause right here. Somewhere within the volumes of secret NSD directives, there is a plan to suspend the Constitution of the United States of America. That's what this man just said. Congressman Jack Brooks, who's a Democrat from Texas, attempted to bring it to the open when he asked Colonel North directly if North had ever helped draft a plan to suspend the Constitution. Brooks was silenced by the committee chairman, Senator Daniel K. Inouye, who was a Democratic in Hawaii. Senator Inouye stated that the subject. We're going to hold on to be strong. I'm going to have to. Yep, he said till July or August. He said maybe till July or August. But he doesn't have the grounds to say that because nobody knows how long they're gonna have to take to put certain plans in place. Okay, so look. So when the senator asked this colonel if he had helped have to draft a plan that was going to suspend the Constitution of the United States, this man was like, "I'm sorry, he didn't ask." Senator Inouye from Hawaii interrupted Jack Brooks from Texas. Okay, and then The senator from Hawaii stated that the subject dealt with national security and any questions regarding the matter could be brought up during a closed door session. And we never learned the outcome. See? Says, I would like to know who gave anyone in any branch of government with any title the right to suspend the Constitution at any time for any reason under any conditions. Right? I believe the plan to suspend the Constitution is directly tied to the underground facility called Mount Weather. Here we go. Mount Weather. Look up the words. Look up the place Mount Weather. Now watch this. It says underground facility called Mount Weather into the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA. This is where we getting at, Luis Martinez. Mount Weather is so shrouded in secrecy that 99.9% of Americans have never heard of it. FEMA, however, is another story. Remember Hurricane Hugo? Remember the federal agency FEMA that was sent to handle the emergency and was thrown out by the citizens because of gross incompetence. Did you hear? Did you hear? FEMA was thrown out by the citizens. Could you imagine? FEMA was thrown out by its own citizens. Okay, I'm back, y'all. Kanye had it right when he spoke about the number of folks that stayed enslaved. He might be crazy, but he didn't lie about numbers. If that's many of us, sounds good. Benita, Carmela say I gotta sing a booty song for a while so they can leave me alone. Girls too early in the riser to be cutting up. I want to do it. I ain't gonna lie. But I just want to get to the point with this shit. I'm so tired of having to do that shit. So look. So when Hurricane Hugo hit, right, it's saying that that the citizens threw out FEMA because of their gross incompetence. Saying these people was incompetent. FEMA was incompetent because emergency management is just a guise, or another word for guise is cover up for its real purpose. Now, what is the real purpose of FEMA? This is what William Cooper said, which is to take over local, state, and federal government in case of a national emergency. The only way FEMA could do this or do such a thing is if the Constitution were suspended and martial law were to be declared. Therefore, its very existence is proof positive that a plan to suspend the Constitution does in fact exist. Did somebody just, did y'all hear that? Did it resonate with you? I'm going to read it again. FEMA was incompetent because emergency management is just a guise or a cover up for the real purpose, which means they really have not been taught how to handle crises by what they call acts of God or natural disasters. The real purpose, which William Cooper says, is to take over local, state, and federal government in case of a national emergency. The only way FEMA could do such a thing is if the Constitution was suspended and martial law was to be declared. Good Lord. Mount Weather. Now, this is where shit gets really interesting. Because I looked up Mount Weather last night. Well, we're actually in the early risings. Look at the birdies. Some people said this was a little town 75 miles west from DC. Some people were saying that it was 64 miles away from DC. And I kept saying, with this, who's getting their facts wrong? Right? FEMA is of no help. Just outside of a sleepy little town called Beaumont, Virginia, about 46 miles west of Washington, D.C. I'm going to believe William Cooper. He says it's 46 miles west from D.C., which is the District of Columbia, which is not legally a part of the United States, mind you. Okay. It is an area of wilderness covering what is been called the toughest granite rock in the eastern United States. The area is surrounded by signs marked restricted area, and this installation has been declared a restricted area. Unauthorized entry is prohibited. Other signs state all persons and vehicles entering hereon are liable to search. Photographing, making notes, drawings, maps, or graphic representations of this area or its activities is prohibited. Such material found in the possession of unauthorized persons will be confiscated. Right. So this is what it's saying. They said basically they're saying there's an installation is beneath the mountain, and its name is the West Virginia Office of Control Conflict Operations. The nickname is Mount Weather. It's ordered to be built by the Federal Civil Defense Administration, which is now the Federal Preparedness Agency. But according to other sources, to people who lives in that small town, Bluemont, Virginia, and there's another little town called Bell something, Virginia, which somebody kept saying in West Virginia we ain't had no cases. I think that same lady just said something maybe the other day that maybe y'all had your first case in West Virginia, or y'all still don't have any cases in West Virginia. Well, that's probably why. Mount Weather is there. Well, not West Virginia, but in Virginia. Mount Weather is there. What does that mean? Well, mm, 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 mm. FEMA has been in Saginaw since 2016. Really? Why? Yeah, I mean, FEMA's been here. FEMA is United States based, so it's gonna be here. The real reason why, this is what I was getting at. The people in this small town, the real reason why this has been nicknamed Mount Weather, they said it's a nickname, but it actually was called Mount Weather first because they used to do a lot of weather testing there. And this is the reason why they had this big underground facility in the mountain. The most accurate information that I feel like I probably heard about this particular place was that um, that there's there's the part of the side of the mountain that actually opens up like a James Bond movie, big enough to where helicopters can actually fly within the side of the mountain, and that there's an underground tunnel that runs from Mount Weather all the way to the White House, underground White House. Now, how my little old black ass would know that? Well, because there's a video of a woman talking about it from that little small town, who claims that her brother works up there or was working up there, and she says that the people who work there, even on the first level, there's like the thing is like I think either 6 to 20 stories deep in the ground or something like that. It's just weird shit. But anyway, yeah. So it says Mount Weather was designed in the early 50s as a part of a civil defense program to house and protect the executive branch of the federal government. Okay, this was what they were saying. Bluemont. You said Mount Weather is 35 miles from Bluemont. I mean, they're gonna give you conflicting how many miles is apart from it because they don't want you to really know. They really don't want you to know. And then he went on to say that Congress has been repeatedly trying to discover the real purpose of Mount Weather, but so far has been unable to find anything out about the secret installation. Well, retired Air Force General Leslie W. Bray, director of the Federal Preparedness Agency, the FPA, told Senate subcommittees on constitutional rights in September 1975. He said that I am not at liberty to describe precisely what is the role and the mission and the capability that we have at Mount Weather or at any other precise location. Well, he just let y'all know that there's underground bunkers that are specifically designated to protect the executive branch, not legislative, not judicial, executive. So, ain't this some shit? Empress, I don't know if that was the real Mount Weather because civilians can't. I mean, they wouldn't. I'm pretty sure that would not let you go in there and film a movie. This is supposed to be like top, and then Homeland Security is the ones who guard Mount Weather. So they're not about to film anything in that motherfucker. They probably built something to mimic it, but Cali Phoenix said the voice. I know. Yep, the president will be going underground, and supposedly in this, supposedly, oh, hold on. Let's read this part. Let's read this part and see where it goes. He says, I know from my stint with the Office of Naval Intelligence that these dossiers consist of information collected about American patriots, men and women, who are most likely to resist the destruction of our Constitution. Damn. And the formation of the totalitarian, I'm sorry, totalitarian, totalitarian. I feel like my tongue is tied. Totalitarian police state under the New World Order. Oh, you know what that reminds me of? Do y'all remember back in the 90s? I don't know how young or old y'all were, but just help me out. Do y'all remember back in the 90s when all of a sudden the U.S. Postal Services was putting this color coding dot systems on people's mailboxes? Do y'all remember that? Some people had red, some people had blue, some people had white, some people had yellow. Do y'all remember that? I know, hey yo. I know, hey yo. That bird song. These birds. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It's clearing up, y'all. It's clearing up. It's clearing up too. I got my tower busters too. Outside on the ground. I got tower busters that I've put around this complex. The black things of shungite and organite, that tower busters. I did that shit like last week. When all that rain was coming, I was like, I love the rain, but this ain't normal. I'm gonna just make the best of it. The look is clearing up. I'm not saying because it's the organite, but what if the sun is fighting back? I'm just just things to think about. It's just stuff to think about. I'm not claiming that I know it all and that I have it all. I don't. I'm just saying the what ifs. What if the sun is fighting back and it's clearing this shit up, and they have to continually just keep spraying over and over again, right? I'm just saying. Okay. It reminds me of that song. But that's what makes the world go round. The up and down the carousel. Changing people, they go round. Go underground, young man. People make the world go round. What in that prophetic? Wall Street losing dough on every share, and they're blaming it on longer hair. Big men smoking in their easy chairs on a fat cigar with. Ain't that something? Oh, it just got real sunny over there. Well, it's getting sunny over here in this month too. Look at that. Something's happening. I mean, it is a sunny mouse. It is. I really do. I feel like the sun is. So yeah. Um. Ooh. Thank y'all. Let's finish what this was. That's what this reminds me of. That song. People may go around. I told y'all to listen to when y'all got a chance. Listen to Lupe Fiasco songs called Streets on Fire. That shit was like oof, intense. The lyrics, read the lyrics along with listening to the song. It's intense. Okay. The Patriot Data Bank is constantly updated so that when the appointed hour arrives, all Patriots can be rounded up with little, if any, effort. The plan calls for this to be accomplished in the dead of night on a national holiday. So he's repeating himself. The most likely holiday is Thanksgiving. Why? I think it's because they would wait till it's cold and most states are snowing or have like very low temperatures. And I think that they are counting on the American people to not really know how to survive in the wilderness in very cold weather. I think it could be that because he keeps saying Thanksgiving. So what does he know? What did this man know for him to keep saying Thanksgiving? The most likely holiday is Thanksgiving when everyone, no matter the religion, race, or creed, will be at home. Oh, the targets will be ripe for the picking after a very heavy meal, maybe some alcoholic beverages, and during a deep sleep. Oh, mm, 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 mm. Some of y'all saying it looked like death in New York. Oh, I'm so sorry. There is a traitor in the Patriot movement who provides the secret government with accurate names and addresses of patriots who will fight to protect and defend the Constitution. My recommendation is that no patriot should ever be at home or at the home of any family member on any holiday ever again until the traitors have been hung, damn, and the Constitution restored as the supreme law of the land. This man was no joke. This motherfucker said they should be hung. God damn. You gotta be sensitive, Cooper. Black people reading about the word hung. Okay, just a little jokey joke to make y'all laugh. Just a joke. Just a joke. Get the fuck over it. I was saying about the mailboxes, Jordan, that I remember back in the 90s, I was a kid and I remember a family member of mine was like, why they keep putting this shit on my mailbox? And my family member kept taking it off. And one day, the person that was delivering the mail from USPS had to tell my family member, listen, please, do you know who's taking your thing off? And they were like, I'm taking it off. So that's when they told, my family member, okay, listen, you're gonna have to leave that on. It's a part of a new system of implementation. And when they asked what was the system, they couldn't really give an answer. And it genuinely seemed like the person that worked for the post office really did not know what it was for, but they were just kind of like drilled and told to say that, right? From what I remember, some of the survivalists were saying that it was a color coded system used by that allegedly it was a color coded system used by the government to tell you who was one of those patriots, who was neutral, and who could possibly turn into one, and who was docile as fuck, right? And who would go with whatever program. So I think that was the four listings of those systems, right? Red, of course, I think was this would be a person who would fight tooth and nail. The other one was, I want to say blue was docile. Um I think it was blue was either neutral, yellow was docile. Yellow was docile and white was neutral. No, okay, hold on. White was the ones who was under the false illusion of, I want to say, under the false illusion of being a patriot in America, and that would go with whatever the government said. That's what the white one was for. Something like that. Yeah, that you would get a red dot, Jordan. That's what it was. If you knew too much, or that it wasn't so much that you knew too much. It wasn't about the knowing. It was about where you stood if when the shit hit the fan. When the sugar honey iced tea hit the fan, it was about where did you stand, right? He was about that life, girl. Yeah, blue was neutral. Um, well, this is what I remember tell. Okay, so because this stuff could have been changing. I remember four specific colors. I remember blue, white, yellow, and red. I don't remember a green. Now, if green has came into existence, it's probably because now they're changing the color coded system. You never know, right? Green could be the green light to come in. Okay, when this shit, you can. This is the house you need to raid. Or green could be like, let this person go because they are docile. You know, I don't know, right? Yeah, white was the weakest. Well, white was the weakest because they were the ones who believed in the system and would defend the system even and couldn't see any warnings of the system turning on them. So white was the weakest. Um, Yellow was the docile ones that kind of was just like they'll blow with the wind on the other side. You know, they won't go red, but they'll just kind of like blue was kind of like neutral. We don't know where they stand. We need more information. But remember from the stuff that I was telling y'all last night how they get the information, right? Let's see. Okay, so let's. As y'all can see, I have not read this yet. It's not marked. I mean, I have read this book. I've read this whole book, but I have not read this book to mark yet. I mean, I haven't read this part to mark yet. It's been a long time since I actually read the book to finish. I'm going back through this book and taking my time to mark. Okay, so I can't remember what a lot of these things are saying. Let me see. Holiday, right? Okay, so some sources state that Mount Weather is virtually an underground city, complete with dormitories, private apartments, streets, sidewalks, cafeterias, hospitals, water purification systems, power plants, office buildings, a lake fed by fresh water from underground springs, a mass transit system, and many other astounding things. I'm going to mark this part, and I'm going to tell you why, because this part right here was exactly what they said in that video on YouTube last night that I was looking when I looked up Mount Weather. It's like, that's interesting. For this man to have this in his book when originally this book was written in the 1980s. It says copyright 1991, but he had this book written since the 1980s. I think the first publishing of this book was like 1985 or 1989, one of the two. Um, Several disturbing facts emerge when one researches Mount Weather. One is the conclusion that a complete parallel government exists at the site. 9 federal departments exist there: agriculture, commerce, HEW, 9 HUD, inferior. I'm sorry, not inferior. Interior, labor, state, transportation, and the treasury. Apparently, at least 5 federal agencies are also in residence: FCC, Selective Service, Federal Power Commission, Civil Service Commission, and the Veterans Administration. 2 privately owned corporations have offices at Mount Weather: the Federal Reserve and the United States Post Office. Wow. Here you go. USPS. There's also an office of the presidency. What makes all this upsetting is that there is a president and a complete set of cabinet officers and residents at Mount Weather. Damn. Who are they and who appointed them? Where is such a thing provided for the Constitution of the United States of America? God damn. I see why they wanted to just off this man. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this. I want to show the whole of this so some of y'all go back to this. Y'all can pause it and read it. For those of you who don't have the book, okay. For those of you who do not have the book. Okay. Let's see. Government in waiting. Mm. So, okay. So I'm almost done with chapter 5, right? I'm almost done with chapter 5. Um, Chapter 6 is, ooh, oh, a tool that can be used to establish the police state. Shit. You must never be found at home on any holiday. Your life depends on how well you can obey that rule. Damn. Oh my God. Mm, mm, mm. Oh my God. So there's a transcript of an audio tape with an urgent message to the people from William Cooper on the subject of HR 4079. Let's look up H 4079. Let's see. A pretext. Mm, FEMA. Okay, so y'all ready? Hold on. I'm gonna read this. Y'all ready? Oops. I'm gonna read this. I think that this is important. Let's see. Um, I believe that the sun is going to get so hot that if you're not black, you're gonna bake, and the radiation is going to destroy you. That's my theory. That the Earth's trying to get rid of unnatural things. I'm with you. Office already been here in DC. It's located near 95 at exit ramp to VA, 6 levels down. We drive over it every day. Yep, that's what that woman said. I couldn't remember. She said 6 to 20 levels down or just 6 levels down. Yep, that's exactly what she said, Christine. Okay, y'all ready? Just this excerpt on FEMA. Y'all ready? The following transcript. No, the following is a transcript of an audio tape with an urgent message to the people from William Cooper, the guy who wrote this book, Behold the Pale Horse, right? On the subject of HR 4079. We must stop the traitors now. William Cooper dictated this information to me by phone early in 1990, and I tape recorded the information as he gave it. I made so many tapes and sent them out exactly as Mr. Cooper has asked me to do, and those recipients have done the same. My name is Richard Murray, and I believe that William Cooper is the only man in America outside the secret government who truly knows what is happening and what it means to us, the average American citizens. So this begins the tape. This is the tape, right? There's a guy by the name of Buster Horton. He's a member of FEMA, and he's a member of the uh, interdepartmental unit, which is empowered in the event of a national security emergency to become the unelected national government, a sort of FEMA secret government, so to speak. Let's see. A pretext for invoking those emergency measures can be found almost daily in the newspapers. It can be anything from the suspension of debt payments by the high bureaus of American countries. Oh my God. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? I'm going to start that over right quick. I'm going to start that over. A pretext for invoking those emergency measures can be found almost daily in the newspapers. It can be anything from the suspension of debt payments by the high bureaus of American countries. What's happening right now? Did they not suspend most payments? Come on. They're suspending mortgages. Come on, y'all. This man is dead. And his book speaks for him from the grave. His body is gone. He's only translated. Did you hear what I just said? From the suspension of debt payments by the high bureaus of American countries to mass runs on U.S. commercial banks. Did y'all hear what? Oh my God. Oh my God. To mass runs on U.S. commercial banks. What's happening with the banks? There's a bailout trying to happen. And that's an issue, by the way, that's being handled personally by the National Security Council and Brent Scowcroft, whatever. That's a crazy ass last name. The food shortages to the drug war. The whole bit. Anything, any disaster emergency declared at all, even including the oil spill from the Exxon tanker in Alaska. If the president had declared a national emergency, that could have triggered it. Look, if the president had declared a national emergency, that could have triggered it. That could have triggered FEMA taking over the executive state. That's what he's saying. Any instability in the Middle East, anything in fact. And they've already tested their capabilities in April 1984 with Rex 84A. And now y'all just gonna have to rebuke fear. If y'all feel it coming up, just rebuke it. These things must be. We don't know why, but these things must be. Look, let me go back. Any instability in the Middle East, what's happening now? Anything in fact, right? They've already tested their capabilities in April 1984 with Rex 84A, right? And that was designed to test the readiness of the United States civilian and military agencies to respond to a serious national security crisis. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Now, the executive order that, huh? Look at this. Look, watch. Now, the executive order that will implement this, Executive Order 11051. Somebody let me, Executive Order 11051. Details responsibilities to the Office of Emergency Planning, or FEMA. It gives authorization to put all executive orders into effect in times of national emergency declared by the president. Okay, y'all ready? I'm going to go back and read that again. This executive order 051, it gives authorization to put all executive orders into effect in times of national emergency declared by the president. Increase international tension or economical or financial crisis. Y'all hear this? Note that it covers every conceivable domestic crisis, but does not even mention war or nuclear attack. Mm. 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 Hold on. That's deep. That's deep. I'm gonna read that again. Note that it covers every conceivable domestic crisis, but does not even mention war or nuclear attack. Jesus. Now, the only thing that has to happen for FEMA to be able to implement all the executive orders, Okay, here we go. He says, now the only thing that has to happen for FEMA is to be able to implement all the executive orders, emergency executive orders, is for the president to declare a national emergency of any type, as long as it's a national emergency. Um, as it is a national. Jesus. Jesus. Y'all, we are there. Yep, he did. He did declare. We're already here. I'm getting goosebumps. Yep. Heyo said, but God. I love it. I love it. We're already here. Let's see. Let's see what this. So, in order for FEMA to take over, president has to declare a national emergency of any type. So, this is the reason why he mentioned FEMA yesterday. Okay, now I see. You keep thinking 3 Days of Darkness. Y'all remember that movie called 28 Days? Huh? Y'all remember that? Remember that movie about that virus, 28 Days? And what didn't that take place like in Alaska where it was like continual night? Right? Well, the only month that has 28 days is February. And we're in a lunar year, which gives us a 29th day, 366 days. Mm-hmm. Executive Order 10995 provides for the takeover of the communications media. That's one of the executive orders that would be put in place. Yes, Coco. Yeah, Jordan. I remember people saying that FEMA was taking over Walmart. Executive Order 10997 provides for the takeover of all electric, power, petroleum, gas, fuels, and minerals. Executive Order 10988 provides for the takeover of food, resources, and farms. Executive Order 10999 provides for the takeover of all modes of transportation, control of highways, seaports. See, this right here, most likely probably would be implemented first. Actually, second. First would be the takeover of the media. Then it would be 10999. Then electric power, and then homes, foods, and farms. Executive Order 11,000 provides for mobilization of all civilians into work brigades under government supervision. So this would be concentration camps. Did y'all just hear that scream? The fuck? I hope that was a cat. Executive Order 11,001 provides for governmental takeover of all health, education, and welfare functions. Well, I remember having a dream. I used to have these end time dreams all the time, and I still do. But I remember this one dream where I was trying to go and pick my kids up from school. And this was recently, and I think I told y'all this. But I had a similar dream years ago before I had my baby that had passed away. I had a dream that I was picking my kids up from school, and they told me I couldn't. They had locked my kids in there and said that my kids were going to stay in school until it was safe enough for us to get them out. And I was fighting tooth and nail to get my kids out of there. Yeah, it sounded like a scream or some form of an animal. It did. Yeah, truck drivers. My cousin actually used to drive cross country. He used to drive 18 wheelers. He's a retired trucker now, and he had to retire early because it messed his back up. Um, he used to go to Colorado a lot, and there was an underground system for 18 wheelers in Colorado. Um, they would literally be taking pallets off of trucks, and they wouldn't tell the truckers where the pallets are going next. It was just your job to drop it off or pick whatever up. It wasn't your job to have information of where it was going, what it was, right? Yes, Shira, especially Denver. I heard. I never been to Colorado. I wanted to go this year just to peep the energy. Um, Executive Order 11,002 designates. I said that in another video that it was there has been soundings of trumpets. Yep. Um, okay, let's see. Executive Order 11,002 designates the Postmaster General to operate a national registration of all persons. Wow. Executive Order 11,003 provides for the government to take over airports and aircrafts. Executive Order 11,004 provides for the housing and finance authorities to relocate communities, designate areas to be abandoned, and establish new locations for populations. That's HUD. That's HUD in Section 8. Low income, anything that's helping you pay your bills right now, as far as Jesus. Yep, YouTube is kicking a lot of people off my life because I keep coming on. Um, Executive Order 11,005 provides for the government to take over railroads, inland waterways, and public storage facilities. Now, all of these were combined under Nixon into one huge executive order, which allows all of this to take place if the president declares a national emergency, and it can be implemented by the head of FEMA, not by the president. The president has already given him that power under these executive orders. Well, we always used to say the president is nothing but a puppet, and that the president is the CEO of the company of the United States and not the actual land. Landmass is different from company. So you have the United States and then you have the United States of America. Two different things, right? All of these were combined into the Executive Order 11,490. And that was signed by President Carter on July the 20th, 1979, and is in fact law. Right there in black and white, people. So if HR 4079 is passed and the president does what it says and declares a national emergency because of the drug situation, or whether it's for 1 year, 5 years, 5 minutes, or forever, it doesn't make any difference. FEMA then can implement all of these executive orders, take over all local, state, and national governments, suspended the Constitution, and do whatever they want to do. Now remember what Colonel North said during the Iran-Contra hearings. He said that they were prepared to suspend the Constitution of the United States. And he said that if it hadn't been for their getting caught, that this would have happened. And all that did was delay it. This is what is still going to happen. Now, they've nominated, and I think he's been appointed, General Calvin Franklin, who's the head of FEMA. He was nominated because of discussions proposing the removal of the implementation of the National Guard in Washington, D.C. And General Franklin Major General, Franklin is or was the commanding general of the District of Columbia National Guard. Damn, this shit goes deep. Mm. So the reason, so let me explain to y'all the reason why I'm still reading, because remember, this part of this book is a transcript of the tape made by William Cooper. The tape ends right here on page 125. I'm on page 124. Okay? I'm on page 124. What is this about 1,000? Oh, did y'all hear about supposedly like 1,000 Brazilian prisoners escaped prison? Did you hear about that? Did you hear about 1,000 prisoners escaping prison? Did y'all hear about that? They said they did it a day earlier when they were supposed to be released. Some other country has a number of 800 and some odd prisoners that got out of prison. Y'all, let me explain something to y'all. When I heard that, this is what I said. I said, now they fucking playing. This is what I said. I said, now they playing. I said, if violence ensues, they are going to blame it on these prisoners. Because remember, give me 1 second. Y'all give me 1 second. Hold on. Give me 1 second. My husband is working from home and I don't want to disturb him because I really haven't been cussing until now. Right? So, wait, you didn't what you said what you didn't hear? So, okay. Remember I was telling y'all about the movie The First Purge? I think that's in the video that I have to fix. That video that I did the other day. That's why it's private right now, because I have to fix the video. Something happened in the end where I have to fix the video, and then I'm gonna republish it. I didn't take it off because of I'm scared of anything I say it may get out. No, I just have to fix the end of the video. Okay. Remember I brought up the movie The First Purge. Y'all remember that? And I said to y'all that they were anticipating for black folks, melanated people, to be the ones to take themselves out. But it failed because they begin to naturally see that we are a people that are not naturally violent. And in fact, we threw a purge party in the movie, right? So then they hired foreign militia groups to come here and start killing us off in the movie and broadcasting it as if black people are taking each other out. Go and watch The First Purge. They know that we are not violent by nature. We are not savages, that we are not the savages that they have been calling us for centuries. And let me tell you something. The things that we've been called this whole time is only a reflection of them. Go back and look at it. Monica, that one melanated crazy guy that started killing during the purge party, because remember they was trying to get round people up they was gonna pay them to kill. You know why he did that? Because he was a crackhead. He was a crackhead and he ain't had nothing to lose. He didn't have nothing to lose. What was the biggest thing before coronavirus that was fading behind the scenes? They said the heroin crisis was becoming a pandemic across the United States. The opioid crisis. Do you hear what I'm trying to tell you? Let's be honest, the majority of people who are on opioids are Caucasians. But when black folks was allegedly dominantly on crack, it was the war on drugs. They had declared war on your ass. You know, the war on drugs was declared on your ass in your neighborhoods and in your hoods and your projects. The suburbs was safe as long as there was a war on drugs, the crack addiction. They didn't give nobody no help. But oh my God, of white skin. We have an opioid crisis. The fuck? To where you got local businesses. You are training local businesses with medicine that can hurry up and reverse a heroin overdose. You want people to literally go out there and play Captain Save a Hole. Go back and watch the first Purge movie. It's called The First Purge, right? It's not the first one that they made, but it's telling you how they came up with the purge, how the government came up with the purge. And it started with our asses, our black asses, our melanated stardust asses. It started with us. Them wanting to get rid of us. And they couldn't. They couldn't get us. They couldn't pay us. Some of us went in there and we was like, yeah, they about that life. They gonna pay me to start the, killing and shit. And guess what? Only one person was about that life. Well, no, I lied. There was a few. It seemed like the crazy, because remember them two ladies, them two old ladies, they was losing their fucking minds. Money. The first purge came out in 2018. There was the purge election came out for 2016. Yep. Now they have a safe place to shoot up. What? Safe place to shoot up? It's a medical drug. That's why it's more money. Well, first of all, before it was a medical drug, these Asian. So listen, this is one of the reasons why the United States actually went overseas to Afghanistan and took over the poppy fields, right? Because poppy seeds from the poppy fields, from the poppy flower, is how you get heroin. Okay, this is how you get morphine, right? Before it was for medicinal uses, as far as the medical field, it was for medicinal uses and religious uses in Asian countries, right? Opium. And if you can opium, knowing that it's sacred and it's for religious uses in certain Asian countries, then you can be able to control some of these Asian countries, right? If they hold this opium sacred, which I think that this is one of the reasons why we haven't had an invasion by Asian countries yet, because we still got some, that this place still got some shit on them that, this is crazy. Okay, so let's see what else he's talking about right here, because I'm gonna stop at the end of the tape. Okay, I want to see where this is going. Now that you know that the National Guard would be of no help at all in combating drug traffic in Washington, D.C. or anywhere else, the primary effectiveness of the National Guard is in controlling mass civil disorders. On March 24th, what's today? The 17th, right? What's today? St. Patrick's Day. Wow. 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 Patrick's Day. Ain't that something? Read up on the real history of that. St. Patrick's Day. On March 24th, President Bush issued a new executive order delegating the director of FEMA powers, which were vested in the president by the Disaster Relief and Emergency Assistance Act of 1988. And although the order is described by the White House as simply a technical matter, in reality, the revision delegates to the FEMA director direct responsibility for a large number of items, which were earlier only the president's, I can't see, prerogative. And that includes responsibility for general federal assistance, federal emergency assistance, hazard mitigation, individual and family grant programs, and the power to direct other federal agencies to assist in an emergency. And that's the key, he says. All other federal agencies will come under FEMA. Damn. Come on, y'all. This is the name of the book. This is the name of the author. Good Lord. Says, of course, the president retains the power to actually declare an emergency, but as soon as he does that, the implementation of the measures utilized will be transferred directly to the director of FEMA. So are you telling me right now, because a national emergency has been declared, that we are under an illusion that President Trump is still in some form of power? Is that what is that a valid question right now? Miss Leo says they're having a press conference about that very thing right now. What about FEMA? What? The fuck? Hold on. The brains behind the contingency plan for a police state were the members of the Council of Foreign Relations. Here we go, the CFR and the Trilateral Commission. So this pull out thing in the back is what that is, right? The CFR and the Trilateral Commission, the members, right? This thing right here. That's what that is. It's crazy. That's crazy. That is bananas. Let's see. Both of which Bush is a member, and Brent Scowcroft, National Security Advisor, who was a member of FEMA's advisory board until he was appointed by Bush to head the National Security Council, the NSC, is a member of the Trilateral Commission and also a business partner of Harry Kissinger, who has been a traitor to this country for many, many years. This is the words of William Cooper. And of course, Scowcroft would become the superior to FEMA in the chain of command of the national security emergency whenever it was declared. Jesus. The FEMA Advisory Board is dominated by Professor Samuel P. Huntington. In 1978, Huntington drafted for Jimmy Carter Presidential Memorandum 32, which led to the creation of FEMA in 1979. And he's a Harvard professor. He wrote the seminal piece for the Trilateral Commission in the mid-1970s, recommending that democracy and economic development be discarded as outdated ideas. He wrote as co-author of the book Crisis on Democracy. We have come to recognize that there are potential desirable limits to economic growth. There are also potentially desirable limits to the indefinite extension of political democracy. A government which lacks authority will have little ability short of cataclysmic crisis to impose on its people the sacrifices which may be necessary. Right there in black and fucking white. Right there at the top of this page. Jesus. All of Huntington's ideas were rewritten into National Security Decisions Directive 47, which is NSDD 47, and that was enacted by President Reagan on July 22nd, 1982. It identified important areas to be upgraded, such as the nation's industrial base to maintain the national defense, but it nonetheless, and this is very important, laid the groundwork for the secret government's options to institute a police state. And its title is Cinnamon. Yeah, sick the it's funny you said that because I remember several people passed on saying that Trump is the last president. Matter of fact, I actually I did pieces of other videos that I even put together from other artists on YouTube, and I said that those did not directly belong to me. I put that in there that the last president. I have a video. Um, I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. I know that if this motherfucker ain't the last president, I know the one who's coming behind him is gonna be more wicked. That's what I can say. That's what I can say. Um, Anybody who comes to try to bring peace, they are going to assassinate in broad daylight. So shit ain't happening. Um, okay, let me finish this, y'all. So it's going to be titled Emergency. Here we go. No, I guess they don't want me to say that word. I'm gonna say it anyway. Emergency mobilization preparedness. Fuck. It ordered preparedness measures that involve the waiving or modification of socioeconomic regulations that delay emergency responses and that should receive priority attention. Well, that happening now, right? Let's see. It also specified that preparedness measures that are or may be impeded by legal constraints be identified in the priority task that lays the groundwork for the suspension of the Constitution. Sorry, y'all. This sun is in my eyes coming through this uh, tree. Won't let you comment. Damn. Somebody said the orange man is on TV. I can't stand y'all. Make copies of this tape if you want to. You don't even have to transcribe it if you don't want to, but get this out to the people. It's important that they understand that if HR 4079 is passed, their history, they won't pass it if we get this out to the people and tell them that this is what they're doing. Most people don't even know about it, and that's to the secret government's benefit. If we get this out and tell the people what they're doing, people can then get on the phone and then go down and kick their congressman's ass. This is what he put. He was about that life, which is what they should have been doing years ago, and get this thing thrown out of Congress. And the next thing they need to do is throw their congressmen and their senators out of Congress and keep them out of Congress and put their neighbors in there, people they can trust, and keep them in there for only one term. The Constitution is in serious danger. This has nothing to do with the right wing, left wing, or any other damn thing. It has to do with the Illuminati taking over this country and joining in the New World Order. When you give this out to the people, make sure they agree to make 10 copies and send them all to their friends. End of tape. I decided that to transcript this tape. Wait, I decided that the transcript of this script says it all. Why write it again? Wow. And then he goes on to talk about what HR 4079 is. This is interesting. This is some interesting shit. They keep talking about stimulus money. Well, we just read that when they start talking about stuff like that, what's coming next? So listen. I'm gonna tell you two scenarios. Is that they keep this shit in our face, right? That's the lesser of two evils. Because if they keep it in our face, at least we can see head on what's going on and what's coming. The worst thing, believe it or not, can happen, which probably most likely will, is that this will return back to normal. It will seem like life will turn back to normal. Hear me well. Okay? That is going to be the worst thing that can happen. Is that we lifted the ban, we got the coronavirus under control. Oh yeah, it's going to go back to normal. Right? Kids starts going back to school. Grocery stores are repackaging and life goes back to normal as you know it, right? Wrong. That's when the shit starts. Yeah, that's the catch 22. That's a catch 22. Listen, Trump can stay in office forever for all I give a fuck. He's a small piece of the pyramid, tiny, tiny piece of the pyramid chain. I am, and I hope that I'm wrong, but I feel that there's going to be a day after all of this shit that normalcy is going to be implemented back into the American people worldwide, nationwide. And then that's when the shit will start. Something, something's. This is a this is a definite crisis, but I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Some things that they're just not telling us. They're not telling us. The national emergency has been declared already. So if William Cooper is in fact correct, and I'm talking like this on purpose, so just hold on to me. If he is in fact correct, then that means that FEMA is already in place and is running the executive branch. If what this man is saying in this book is truth, I mean 100% pure truth, which I mean is to be disputed amongst those who may disagree to disagree, right? Because look, everything that I read to y'all so far is what we're seeing now. Like what? I remember when Michael Jackson on This Is It documentary, when they were praying and they were standing up and praying, and he says we have 4 more years to get it right, and that if we don't get it right, we're doomed. Something along those lines, right? Like it's irreversible or something. Do y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? Yeah, Trump. I'm gonna just tell y'all something. Trump looks like he knows some shit. Trump looks like he knows. Trump looks tired. So what color tie is he wearing? Is he in the red or is he in the blue still? He's in a green tie? Shut the fuck up. Uh-oh, something ain't right. He's in a green tie. Y'all gotta be, y'all kidding me. He's in a green tie. Like olive green. Oh no. So he's neither one of those Gemini sides. This nigga ain't the red or the blue right now. This motherfucker is green. Okay, so that means, so that right there is a signal within itself. A green tie? Like snake skinish to me. Yeah. Pence is in the blue one. Ooh. He had a pink one on the other day. Oh fuck. What is he representing? AKA? God damn, pink and green? Okay, so that means power has been shifted. The power has been shifted. Listen, I'm not stupid. I know that this man has been wearing different color ties in office and different things like that. But for the most important part, every time he's had an important thing where he had to get in front of the people, he either had a striped, which was a mixture of blue and green and white stripe. I mean, not blue, green, red, white, and blue stripe, or it was either blue or red. That is crazy shit. I would not. I would not. That is crazy. The glasses look so lost. He neutral today. He's something today. I don't know if he's neutral, but he's something today. All right, my dear. Hey, baby. Well, my little one has risen from his throne of a bed. He looked sick. I was looking at him yesterday and I kept saying to myself, he looked like he was sick. He looked like he wanted to go lay down and rest. He did. He wanted to look like he wanted to lay down and rest. This is what it looked like. You say you bet he's sorry he went for that job. Yep. They're saying that you will see a peak in 45 days. I tried to comment 4 times. Damn, Benita. Did Gregory did say there was 2 Trumps. He has been looking. He has been looking sick. So what is it about this Idris Elba shit? I'm hearing that people are saying that Idris Elba said that he has it. I also read on MSN.com that, oh, look at this white butterfly. My baby who has passed away is visiting me right now. I seen a hummingbird yesterday as well, so I knew that was her. Um, the Trump and the Pope. Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. And I ain't even trying to be funny. In a way I am. But if the Simpsons predictions is right, and I'm gonna just be real with y'all. If if they say Trump gets extremely sick, and I don't wish death on nobody, and these people say, oh, this man ended up dying from coronavirus, and then 3 days later, like the book of Revelation say, the Antichrist deadly wound to the head was healed, and the word corona means crown, which is another word for head. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna scream. These celebrities are lying about having the disease to hype this shit up. Well, I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't be surprised if these motherfuckers is getting paid millions of dollars to do this shit. It's a lot of folks sell out the world. Hey baby, hey baby. I'm serious, cause remember the Book of Revelation said that the Antichrist head was gonna be wounded, and that the body was gonna be laid out in the street for everybody to see. Now watch this, cause you see, I studied that, and Revelations ain't nothing but metaphors. Because see, John, when he was John the Revelator, or John the Beloved one, who was on an exile on the island of Patmos, who allegedly wrote, right, the book of Revelation, was saying that his body was going to be laid out in the street, visible for everybody to see. How could he explain to you that it would be broadcasted on the media, which means everybody was going to know because of television and media, right? So he had to find the best way to say it in that time frame. Remember, we're talking about where technology as such as we have now was not created. Do you hear what I'm telling you? Red Cross asking for blood. Fuck no. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, 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 nope. I'm gonna go Sesame Street on that ass. Y'all remember them little things? Nope, 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 nope. Right? So whose deadly wound to the head was healed 3 days later. Okay. The Mexicans say, Corona. I can't catch the Corona because I drink Modelo. Oh my God. These people is crazy out there in these streets. Blue suit and green tie. God damn, he clashes. But I mean, it's all right. Whatever. Yeah. What's happening? I do be feeling like this nigga be sending signals through his ties, though. I'm not gonna say how. When he is aggressive, he wearing that red shit. When he's blue, when he got that blue tie on, that's that other part of that Gemini. That's that laid back, talking quiet, reserved. But when he wearing that red, he's popping the fuck off. He told that man, he said, somebody get him out of here. It's fat. Get him out of here. He needs to lose some weight. Maybe you need to slow down. You remember that? That nigga was wearing that red tie when he said it. He is off the chain. Oh my God, I never thought I'd see a reality star in fucking office. I swear for God. Who gonna be in that bitch next? Kim Kardashian? Damn. While you fucking playing, you never know. Blue suit and green tie. Adrenochrome is tainted, however you spell that. I did some digging. There's a company named Verily. Like verily, verily, I say unto you. Like the word from the Bible, yes. Verily, verily. Um, I did some digging just to see how the stock market looked on that share. Verily is a company that's supposed to be responsible for some of the coronavirus testing. There is a company called Roche Holdings. I think the abbreviations for it on the stock market is RHHNY. I want to say RHHNY. Almost looked like Love and Hip Hop New York. It was just RHHNY, I think. One of those. Anyway, so yeah. Um, I was looking that up and I was like, okay, let's see what this goes into. Well, these companies are smaller. They sit under the umbrella of Google. Could you imagine that? Google. I told you, I tried to tell y'all yesterday, technology and medical this has been the thing. It's been merging. That's why them stars getting sick if they really getting sick. Yeah, Roche is medical. I know that Roche is medical. But the companies that own them is Google. They have a stock ticker on the screen now, right? Mm-hmm. Let's see what y'all saying. Yeah, a lot of people are getting kicked off my live. We know what it is. We know what time it is. We know what time it is. If they ain't kicking me off, they kicking y'all off. Yep. The medical field been merging. Been merging. This is some crazy shit. This is some shit. Rainy and empty in Edinburgh. You can feel it in the air. It's coming. Yep. 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 All right. I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna let this tablet. I'm gonna let this tablet charge, and I'm gonna try to find another mean or mode to come to y'all. Since my husband's working from home, I'm gonna see if he can get my camera to work on my laptop, so we won't be having these issues, and see if they cut us off from my laptop. Okay. But until then, I'm gonna, I'm gonna do some more digging. I'm gonna read some more of this book. If I find anything that's worthy, well, I'm pretty sure some things are worthy enough for me to come back on live concerning this book. But I'm gonna read some more of this book, and God rest his man's soul. But yep, here we go. Love y'all. Oof.